The thing I'm trying to make here today is a simple data pipeline infrastructure, top of AWS. Data pipeline in real world is pretty complicated. Need to think of make it covering massive data traffic. Of course, what I will make here only has minimum features, but well, I still have much thing to do. Okay, here's the basic flow. Kinesis data stream will be the entry of pipeline. The data source is producing data to Kinesis. Next, it will be consumed by glue streaming and stored to S3. This is only for storing the input data to design data lake. To make catalog for data query, it will need something like glue crawler. For better performance, you can think of using warehouse systems such as Redshift, but this is out of scope here. I'll make infrastructure with AWS CDK so it can be easy to reuse. If you're more familiar with CloudFormation or maybe Terraform, it could be another good option. You can make scaffold with CDK command line tool, and I'll choose Python to do it here. Okay, it has been done. Okay, now let's check the code. Okay, here's the base code with class AWS data pipe stack. Yeah, you can see the Python code generated here. But to see it clear, I'll define all classes to make CDK stack in the single file app.py. Well, it is not my style, only for this case. Okay, first, let's think which stack is needed. It should need stack for S3 to store stack. S3 here, and next will be Kinesis for input, and it'll be glue job for transform and load. Here, let's add class for each ones. Class name should be S3 resource. Extend cdk.stack. This is root construct class for CDK. And class Kinesis resource. And last, class glue resource. Okay, now I'll start to fill this later. And call the stack at the bottom. Yeah, let's fill the parameter later. Call the S3 Kinesis and the glue resource. Okay, so let's start to fill in this. Let's copy this part. It is initiated module for cdk.stack. And copy this and paste to all of them. Okay, so bring packages to use CDK. Import we should need AWS S3, and for Kinesis and glue, and we also need S3 assets And last, need IAM package to define the role. Okay, for the S3 resource, let's start with this. First, define the bucket instance with, so we will use as AWS S3.bucket. And it needs ID. So define as data bucket and give the name of bucket here as bucket name. Remove the. Okay, and let's name as glue data storage. This is to define storage to load transform data on. Okay, for S3 resource, this is okay. So let's move on to Kinesis resource. Here, let's define stream for data input. Okay, we need to. Okay, let's name as data underscore pipe. No, not underscore. Data underscore pipe underscore stream. We will use Kinesis package and stream. Okay, put self and ID or data stream. Let's just name as data stream. And for Kinesis stream, we need to define the retention period. Let's put retention period. Okay, let's put on duration here. And by this definition, it will keep produce data to 3 days. And shard number, it's just for test. So give one shard only. And last, we need stream name. Data pipe stream. Okay, this is all for Kinesis resource. Let's go to next. Start defining glue stack. This part will be pretty long. First, define parameter for database. Name as glue db. Okay, this is ID. And define table name. Define database name as glue test db. And table. And it would be glue test table. This is db table parameter for store data from glue job. Okay, this is not actual db table instance. So let's rename it. cfn underscore param. Okay, start to define glue db. From glue package, bring cfn database. ID will be glue db. And yeah, we need database input. We need to put input property. So it needs name. Name is at the CFN parameter we've defined at the top. So bring value as string. And also for table, bring resource from glue. It's CFN table here. And before in DB, we need to add a catalog ID to define AWS account ID to create catalog object. So put here a catalog ID. It will be cdk.aws.account ID to bring current configuration account in our laptop. Back again. Define database. Database name. Yeah, we've defined at the top. And to fill in, we need to use table input property here. And fill in. Description is optional, so you don't need to do actually. Yeah, just define like this. And name, yeah, similar as db, bring it from the parameter value as string. We need to think of table schema to define partition key, and I will assume the input is a simple API server log contains yeah, one will be the URL, this will be string, and other one will be method, which is also string. And here I'll make partition key as URL. So name is URL and type as string. For production, you need to decide partition by frequency of query the user will run for this table. In storage descriptor, add column information here. And change the name to method. Okay, and add the dependency with table and the database. Okay, seems definition for the stack is becoming too long, so I'll split resource stack to table and job. For now, the table definition has been done, so add glue job resource stack. This glue job resource will need input data from other resource. So yeah, the input will need input stream. Let's comment this for now. And we need glue database and table. And bucket information. Okay, here's the input parameter. So first we need to define IAM role for glue resource because it needs to access to Kinesis and S3 bucket to read stream input and write transform data. So first will be ETL role and get from IAM package.row. This role be used for glue, so assume by should be defined for glue like this principal, and bring some of managed policies for the bucket and the glue here. Okay, looks okay for this, and let's add some policies inside this role. Okay, for action, we need to define the S3 access permission. So this is for demo, so let's just give all the permission for S3 like this. And the resource will be the bucket location. We've got bucket information as input value, so yeah, ETL bucket bucket underscore ARN, and also put the wildcard information to give access through to the S3 buckets for this glue job. This is for Kinesis. We need permission for reading the stream information. And for resource, get the stream resource name from the input stream. And grant read permission for this input stream and set up to this role. Next, we need to define scripts to use on ETL job. Here's a base Scala source for this. Here's context for Spark, and use this to define the glue context. For glue ETL job, it needs to get session with this. New glue context, and parameter will be Spark context. And for Spark session, we can get this from the glue context above. And you need to get parsed argument from glue parser for initiating job. The job needs here is very simple. Need to do only two things: read input Kinesis and write to S3. To read from stream, it needs to call from the Spark session. The format will be Kinesis, and there are several options to do: the stream name and the endpoint URL and starting position. And load. So the stream will go inside to the variable df and find stream name. It's data pipe stream. And endpoint URL should be Kinesis, and the region information amazonaws.com, and define starting position as trim horizon. This is to get oldest data record in the shard. And now let's load this input data to the target S3 with write stream. The format will be Parquet. The S3 path and output mode as an append mode for here. Checkpoint location is to store the checkpoint checkpoint of the stream. And make this start and add the await termination. To await termination signal from the input. This is all for script, so get back to the IAC part. Let's define the script file using the S3 asset. Scripts/main.scala. And define the glue job here. We need a job name and the role we have defined above. And make command with job command property. The name will be the glue streaming, and define script location. We can get from the S3 asset above. We've defined it. So copy. The path will be S3. And first bucket. And the key behind. Let's give format. Okay, format is done. And for this, we need several arguments here, like DB name, table name, and some others. Okay, just copy this. Okay, here it'll be data lake. Bucket name. And the prefix. The job language. And class job bookmark option. So put DB and table information Yeah, we can get from the input parameter here. And bucket name also. Okay, we got input for ETL bucket. And let's decide prefix. Anything is okay. So just do it as, yeah, ETL, no, my ETL. Job language is Scala and class name is GlueApp. This don't need when you use Python script for glue job. And enable bookmark. And make other configuration, just one to make it simple, everything. And we need to build the job trigger to make this job triggered by event or schedule or something else. And yeah, type I'll make as scheduled here. And schedule should be defined in cron way. Let's make it like this. We don't need commas. So this will make the job running by every 10 minutes. Inside actions, let's define the job name for the action property. We can get this from job, which we have defined above. So let's get return value from the CFN job. And finally, add the dependency of the trigger. And I'll make some fix here. Giving dependency, we need to make table depends on DB. So opposite order here, like this. And go down here. And yeah, here about capacity allocation for glue job. In the document, it has commented that minimum data processing unit we can assign is 2, or else it'll assign 10 as default. And add config about concurrency to give maximum value as 1. In production, if you need more concurrency, you can increase it. Now each stack has been implemented, so let's fill parameters. First, define project name. It will be used to define stack name. As data pipe with AWS, and first parameters for each class should be CDK application instance, and give stack name for a second one. The first one will be the project and ends with S3. Okay, format like this and copy and paste for other resources. Okay, it's okay for Kinesis and Glue, and for Glue job there are several more parameters. So first, input stream we can get from the Kinesis resource. And for GlueDB, let's see, we can get from here GlueDB CFN param. So bring this part. And same for glue table. And the ETL bucket. We can get from the S3 resource. And name, it should be, let's see, it's on, yeah, data bucket. So put value like this. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's rename the stack for Kinesis glue table. And this is glue job. And we need to bring resource, but name is confusing, so let's rename with glue table. Okay, I think it is done. Okay, let's start build infrastructure. First, bootstrap. Okay, now so let's deploy it. Because there are multiple stacks, so give all option. Okay. Press yes here. Now done. Let's confirm the resources in console. In CloudFormation first, we can see all stacks are created well. And next, in Kinesis stream, data pipe stream is here. And glue database, okay. And job, yes, stream ETL process job is ready. Okay, it looks deployment goes well. So this is all for part 1. I'll add few more features in part 2, such as crawler to make schema, and also some input logic and some minor fixes too. Thanks for watching it. See you on next video.